Hello and welcome to Oopie's Soup Kitchen. Today we're making another amazing dinner. It's another Asian inspired one. It's a honey garlic chicken over rice. Let's get started. So what I've done is I have started with some jasmine rice, and I pretty much cooked it the way the package directed, except just like in my last video where I made rice, I never make rice with just plain water. I think it's super boring. So I added some butter, some chicken bouillon, and some soy sauce. And that is currently cooking. So that's gonna kind of just be the base for our chicken. Okay, so now that we have our rice going, I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. I am just going to trim the fat off of these, and these are just from the grocery store. I'm not gonna be able to get all the fat. And then once I get the majority of like the big chunks of fat, I am just gonna put these in a bowl. There's like a big old hunk of fat right here I'm gonna get out. So we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to this bowl with our chicken. Okay. Then we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper also. And I am just gonna toss these thighs in here, just to kind of try to get these chickens coated the best I can in that cornstarch mixture. In fact, I almost want to say we need more cornstarch. So we're just a tossing and a tossing and a tossing, and we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit. Okay. Yep. Okay, so now that I have my chicken mixed up with the cornstarch, salt, and pepper, we are going to heat 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil over high heat. And I do have nicer pans than this, but this pan that I got at TJ Maxx like 5 years ago is my go-to pan when I'm making stuff like this. So it has definitely seen a lot of recipes. Okay, so I am just going to get this vegetable oil hot. Give it a second. And this probably was not the best utensil for this job. Let's just make more dishes.
Welcome back to Oopie's Soup Kitchen.
Now that my oil is nice and hot, I am just gonna take my thighs and I'm gonna try to flatten them as best I can. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get all of them at once. We may have to do batches. Yeah, we're just gonna do 3 at a time. And I'm gonna cook these for about 5 minutes. So while my chicken's cooking, I am gonna go ahead and make the sauce that we're gonna be using. So we are gonna combine 1/3 a cup of honey, sticky, icky goodness. And this honey that I'm using came from a friend of ours who has bees, so it's very good honey. A third of a cup of chicken stock with a little piece of garlic in there. A tablespoon of rice vinegar. And a tablespoon of soy sauce, but anytime it says a tablespoon of soy sauce, you always double, so 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And we are going to mix that up. And this is going to become the sauce for our honey garlic chicken. Okay, Jade, you can stop it.
Welcome back to Ubi Soup Kitchen.
All right, so our chicken has cooked about 6.5 to 7 minutes total. I turned down the stove to medium. I am gonna add some butter. Should be 1 tablespoon, but just like soy sauce, I always double it. So I'm just gonna let this butter melt. Now I'm gonna add about 4 cloves of garlic. You know me and my garlic. Okay, now is when I could have. All right, let's get another one. Okay, and we're just gonna let that garlic, what are we gonna let it do, guys? Aromify. That's what we're gonna let it do. Oh, it smells good already. All right, we are gonna add our chicken back in here. And I'm gonna add all of it this time. And at this point, the chicken is not all the way cooked. So, stick it all in there. Doesn't fit. Just try to make it fit best we can there. Extra chunk. Okay, so I put my chicken back in. And I am going to, remember that sauce I made with the honey and the rice vinegar and soy sauce? We're just going to dump that in there. And we're going to turn our heat back up to close to high, medium high, I would say. And the goal here is that we want to bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna let it simmer about 4 to 5 minutes just until it's able to reduce, get a little thick. So let's take a little look here, and we're just gonna let this do its thing for a couple minutes. All right, so I am just gonna flip these chicken pieces while they're cooking in this sauce, just because I wanna make sure that they cook evenly, and I want to make sure that the sauce gets all over them. Okay, so it actually took a little bit longer than the 4 to 5 minutes. It took like 7 minutes. But you just want to check your thickest piece of chicken. Of course, you always want your chicken to be 165, so we're good there. And then this guy over here I was having trouble with because he's pretty thick, but he appears to be done now as well. So, and you can see that my sauce is Pretty thick now, nice and sticky. And so I turned off my heat, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sprinkle a tablespoon of fresh parsley over the top. And then I have some chili onion flakes that I'm just gonna do like a half of a teaspoon that I'm just gonna sprinkle in here over top of our chicken. It's not really coming off the spoon. Okay. All right, it's all finished, and it's time for the first bite. This tastes just like something you'd get at a Chinese restaurant. It's delicious, it's sweet, it's sticky. It has a little tiny bit of heat from those chili flakes we added. And then we decided to do steamed edamame. Sorry, I have a piece of chicken in my tooth. For our side. Delicious. Autumn, what should our viewers do?
You guys like and subscribe to Ubi Soup Kitchen.
Thank you so much.